Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 18th of April. So what have we got in store for today then? Well, before I talk about today, actually should really talk about yesterday, and we've got a lot of Fed speakers coming out now. There's almost this hawkishness coming through again, which is confusing the market somewhat, but it's leaving us in a bit of a I'd say we're seeing more hawkishness effectively from some of the Fed speakers. Now this might be a thing that continues as we continue through this week. We'll see. For now though, today in terms of news that's actually coming out, which is just the standard news. We've already seen the employment data. In fact, let's just pop that in because that's above expectation there at 5.9. Claimant count higher, so unemployment starting to rise there, but it's the average earnings, no surprises there with what wage rises going on, sitting there at 5.9 at the moment. The other factors to watch out for is obviously inflation this afternoon, Canadian inflation. We do sometimes get a bit of a blip at 10 o'clock when the economic sentiment comes out on the German economic sentiment there, but it's not normally a big movement. That's about it for today. Now we do have speakers, and let's just roll down here. So looking at it today, they're mostly after 4 o'clock, so not too much of a problem there. So mostly after 4 o'clock this afternoon, but we do have the Bank of Canada speakers at 4, and then at 6 we've got Fed Bowman, etc. Like, it's just a threat of that could move things a bit crazily. One thing that might pick up the markets a bit is the Chinese data that's coming through here, in terms of what's going on, retail sales, etc. The economy is picking up again there, which can have some reasonable knock-on effects elsewhere. Anyway, there we go. Bit of a muddly. The currency, and starting off with the euro. Euro is still very much in an upward trend here on the dailies. As you come down the trend though, you see the sort of the lower high that we popped in here, quite messy as it sits. Yesterday expected something more of this sort of movement, but it just really failed and gave us another, well, a more confirmed lower high. We sort of stepped out. If we drew the trend line across here, we've stepped out of that. Now it's walking a bit sideways. I'm watching for any breakdowns. We saw it sort of move up yesterday into 8 o'clock on the 8 o'clock bar, and then fail afterwards. Let's see if we get the same today, or whether it can build up something a bit more here. That's the euro. The pound. Well, the pound, obviously, I say obviously, but it's seeing a reasonable morning. But again, overall, the main shove is to the upside here on the dailies. It's very easy to forget this when you start seeing it breaking down a little bit on the lower time frames. It's a mess where it sits here at the moment on the 4 hourlies, and even the hourlies. It looks like it might run up to its R1 or even back to this key pivotal area which I've drawn on here. Either of those sort of points could be a point where it stalls. So not looking great there. US dollar yen. Well, the yen I found a bit difficult lately. It's just it's continuing in this upward movement at the moment. At some stage it could roll over, but that's the main trend at the moment, and got to be patient here. Friday's movement into yesterday, it was a lot choppier. Today it's still quite consolidated. We want to probably give a miss. Aussie dollar again, not so easy to work out what it's doing on the shorter time frames. For me, it's sort of tracking back up and down. It looked like it was going to roll over some more yesterday. Didn't really do it in the end. It's just we've seen an about turn. US dollar CAD may be one of the sort of cleaner movers. Just looking through it, it's still lower high, still very much in a downward trend, and it's broken its broken my little trend line here that I drew on the 4 hourlies, looking into the weekly pivot there. It's maybe got some more downside. I do wonder though, we saw it yesterday turn around into 9 o'clock, turned round, and then that was it for the rest of the day. Whether we'll see another move like that. Short term higher lows through here, so it makes it difficult. It makes it more complex. Looking at the other markets, Euro Yen is chopping. I'm just running through some of these on an hourly picture. The Euro Aussie, it's gone ugly. Even if I come out on this time frame, it's confirmed a lower high here, but the structure of the overall price action is not great. Lots of overlapping, and it's sort of off my radar at the moment. Euro CAD, this too is not the cleanest of markets at this stage. It's run down. One thing I would say, it's run down to its S1. A break back below that could see it running down towards the S2 prior lows there. So we'll see what it does this morning. So it's partially on the watch list. Pound Aussie, that's also messy. So pound CAD, well, the pound CAD's catching the bid the other side there. Looks very indecisive. It's typical one of these consolidations away from the absolute low, and it's pushed the opposite direction here at the moment. So I'd love to say that, well, there's a lot more here, but you look through the pound yen and etc. It's a pretty much, I mean, the Aussie CAD's already gone. It's done for me for the day. The Aussie yen pushing up there. The Aussie catching the bid this morning. A bit better, but these could all come back in reverse. However, do I want to trade against them? No, because look what's happening in the bigger picture here. They're largely pushing up there. Yes, we did see a week or two ago, beginning of the month there, we saw it selling off again, but the Aussie yen, for example, pushing up, and it's really a case of the yen across the board here seeing similar-ish pictures. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day's trading. Oh no, let's have a quick look at the indices. Getting carried away myself. Just the lacking of any real action there. Let's just look at the indices. Sorry, distracted this morning. Right, so CSI 300 pushing up okay here, higher low, but it's continued to push. As I said yesterday, looking, well, last few days it's looking much more positive. The Nikkei following suit. Some of those data out from China will help some of these markets. Nifty 50 struggling again, stuck where it is there. US 500 or the S&P E-minis. That's continued. It's such an ugly market at the moment, chopping along there, just trying to push into the upside. So it's maybe got some scope to push up further. A Dow very similar, the Nasdaq. It's again all these markets pretty much waiting to see what comes of next week's, the week after's data. It's early May. Close to home, the DAX. Well, the DAX, it's doing it, but again, look at it. Look at how slow it is. It's a very choppy market. You expect too much out of this, and you could just get chopped up. Consolidating here away from the high. Not the most bullish of signals, and it might actually roll back the other way this morning. And the FTSE. Again, here we've seen a sort of continuation. It's just slowed up a little bit, but the overall move, the bigger picture, still to the upside. Shorter time frames gone a bit choppy here. The potential of the good data puts more pressure on higher interest rates, and it's not good for the equity market. So we're seeing this little blip at the moment, but that may be soon forgotten. I didn't look at gold. So I'd been distracted. My son walked in the room as I was recording. Gold's still very much the upside here, and well, we could see more, but it's put lower highs in again. This sort of weakness we're seeing across a number of the markets, and I do wonder if, well, is it going to break back below the daily pivot there and roll back again for another day once we get rolling. Spot crude coming off a little bit there. It's interesting, I got notified that gas went up yesterday to the highest for some time, but we're not seeing the same with oil, of course. Here we've seen it actually coming off quite strongly yesterday afternoon there, 4 o'clock-ish time, coming off. Short term, maybe a break of the trend here, might get a bit more of a correction, may just be ranging, but really the bigger picture still looking pretty positive. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you in the morning. Morning, Michael. Sorry, a bit late there. Right, Dean and co. Right, catch you YouTubers later.